very bad news. There is no such thing as a garbage fairy. There's a tooth fairy, there's obviously Santa Claus, but there is no garbage fairy. When you take your trash out to the curb, it does not just disappear. It actually goes into a landfill. Well, possibly a landfill. Sometimes it'll go into a transfer station and then to a landfill, and it's all complicated. So that's why I'm going to talk about landfills today. I know it sounds like a weird topic, like why would I choose that? But like when I was researching environmentally, related topics, landfills kept coming up, and they are more complicated and interesting than I thought. So I thought I would just share it all with you guys. After all, we all use them, whether we know it or not. So I think it's relevant for everybody. So to start with, how are landfills made? It's just like in anything, it's real estate, location, location, location. You cannot build a landfill, for example, in a wetland, in a floodplain, in some kind of environmentally sensitive area, like if there's some kind of like endangered guinea pig or something that's living there, you can't build your landfill there. Once you choose a layer, there's still a whole bunch more work to do. They've got multiple layers. Here's just a little diagram of a sample one. You've got to have some clay at the bottom, some soil, some kind of impermeable barriers like plastic sheeting or, I don't know, they make those out of all kinds of different things. And there's also a lot of pipes that will run through. I don't know if you can really see on here, but basically as the trash decomposes, all kinds of liquids and gases are released. So you got to have some way to collect that and disperse it safely, otherwise that's very, very unsafe. So that's kind of just the quick overview of how they're made. What are they used for? I know it's obviously anything, to store trash. Not only does storing trash all in one place keep the whole area clean, it's the same thing like when you're building a trail through the woods. If you focus everything in one spot, it has a less impact on the overall environment. They actually can collect that gas that I mentioned, the leachate gas, and process it, sell it as natural gas. The state of New York actually does that with one of their landfills, which we'll talk about actually later. But and they are turned into parks. When I was researching, I discovered that their Red Rock open space here has a 53-acre landfill in it, which I didn't know about, so I just moved here. I don't know, maybe you all knew it, but I didn't. Here is Fresh Kills Park. That's the one that I mentioned. This is in New York. I did not name it. It's a terrible name for a park. But it used to be an active landfill. They're in the process of shutting it down. It was active for like 50 years. It had 4 major mounds, and they're turning it into a park now. It's 2,200 acres, which is 3 times the size of Central Park, so it's the largest park in New York City. Anyway, I want to say it's the largest city park within the state. I'm actually not sure about that, I'm sorry. But anyway, as you can see, it's totally beautiful. There's kayaking, there's wildlife, there's hiking, there's just all kinds of really fun things. I mean, once landfills aren't used, that land is still valuable. It is able to be repurposed. Another example of a landfill, this is the Shoreline, now amphitheater, used to be the Shoreline landfill. This is in Mountain View in California, up in the Bay Area. They do all kinds of huge concert venues here. It's and this is like in a nice area of California too. Mountain View is not cheap, and we now have this beautiful amphitheater where there used to be an ugly landfill. That said, they are, very useful, but there is definitely some controversy involved with them as well. Not only do you need to be worried, not only are they ugly, but there is always a potential for leaks getting into the environment. If those impermeable barriers fail, then all kinds of awful things can get into not just the groundwater, but those liquids and gases are hazardous to human health. Zero Waste America is an environmentalist organization that alleges that 80% of landfills leak, potentially, causing all kinds of contaminations that obviously nobody wants to deal with. So something just to keep in mind, when you throw things away, they generally go to a transfer station where they're then sent off to these landfills, and we try to repurpose them, but it's still going to be a mountain of trash. So underneath that pretty park, there may be 100 feet of diapers or whatever. So anyway, I thought it was interesting, and I think it's something that we should all have a better understanding of. So thank you all for listening to my speech about landfills.